All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks again, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining this virtual visit this afternoon. We know that it's difficult to visit campus right now, so we thought we'd bring some opportunities to connect with some Illinois College staff and faculty throughout this week. And we're excited today to present Supporting Student Success through the Center for Academic Excellence and TRIO. And we'll introduce our presenter here in just a minute. But just wanted to point out that we are recording this session. We hope to be able to put this recorded session onto our website after the event is over, so that those who weren't able to attend live will still be able to view this content. So just be aware of that. Also want to encourage you to make use of the chat function. Please, if I ask that you go ahead and mute your microphone, just to sort of preserve the audio quality for everyone. So if you haven't done that already, go ahead and do that. And we'll use the chat feature for questions. Typically what we're going to do is have about 10 minutes or so of presentation and then open it up for questions after that. So again, we're thrilled to have you. And at this point, I'm going to introduce Dr. Amy Schwiderski, the Director of the Center for Academic Excellence and TRIO Support Services at Illinois College. She's going to tell us a little bit about her area today. So Amy, I'll let you get started.
Good afternoon. Hi, Evan. I am Amy Schwiderski, and I am from the Center for Academic Excellence here at Illinois College. And I have been the director now for a little over a year, but I have been part of the center for 5 years. I do have some information that I would like to share, and I would like to see if you can see my screen. Are you able to see that?
Yep.
Okay. So I would also like to introduce, I have with me Ashley Brooks. She is a student who's joining me. She is a senior psychology major and has been with me for 4 years. So she's going to do a little bit of speaking with me as we go through what we do here in the center. So I'd like to just go ahead and get started. So every time we talk about the Center for Academic Excellence, we kind of think of ourselves as an umbrella of services. And when we think of that, we think about how we actually move through what we do with students on a day-to-day basis that helps them throughout their life situations. And so the umbrella looks at all students, whether it's academically, socially, or emotionally, and how we help out. So I'd like to walk you through some of those services today. And Ashley will join in with me a little bit on some of the services that she has used. And then at the end, we'll kind of give you a little bit of a question and answer time. So the first thing I'd kind of like to introduce to you is one of the supports that we give is our TRIO Student Support Services. This is a program that we are extremely proud of at the college. And it is actually a program that works in favor for students who have characteristics in a certain population. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit. TRIO is near and dear to me as a graduate from 1991 because I am someone who could have very much benefited from this program. And there was not such a program when I was here several decades ago. So this is a program that we are currently in our 10th year of operating. It's a federally funded program and it's highly competitive. We have worked very hard to build our program. We serve approximately 140 students a year in this particular area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk through what supports this program gives. And then I'm going to give Ashley kind of a few minutes to talk about how she has benefited and used this service. One of the things that we do through the TRIO program is we offer a summer bridge service, which is called the Yates Summer Bridge Program. This is open to first generation college students who may not know how to navigate the campus, possibly because a parent or guardian has not navigated a 4-year campus before. So this is one area that the TRIO program offers. TRIO students have to be one of 3 characteristics, and I think it's really important for families to understand what that looks like. So the TRIO program is open to students who are either a first generation college student, and the way Illinois College defines that are students whose parent or guardian has not obtained a 4-year degree. So students, parents or guardians may have an associate's degree, they may have started college, but they have not completed a 4-year degree. The second characteristic or qualification, a student needs to be income eligible. And the way we figure that out is Pell eligibility is a good way to look at this. If students are Pell eligible, then they are more than likely eligible for TRIO. One way that we figure that out is we have a close relationship with our student financial services. As I tell students and families, we don't necessarily want to know your financial business, right? That is your own personal business. So we just ask student financial services and they give us a yes, students are eligible, or no, they're not. And then finally, students who have a documented disability may participate in the TRIO program. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more when I get into the other part of the umbrella. But those are students who come to us with a documentation from either a high school or from a physician. So what we do in the TRIO program is students who have any one of those qualities, you do not have to have all 3 of those characteristics, just one, you are allowed to apply for the TRIO program. In that, we serve students throughout the year, and we, once in TRIO, always in TRIO, so we serve students throughout the year, their 4 years, and do different things for them, and that's the programming that I'm referring to. So the programming that you see at the bottom of your screen, we do things for students in the TRIO program that not all students on campus may get. So for example, we offer extra financial literacy programs, we help students with their FAFSA, we do conferences on Sunday nights where students get to come together and we offer them different ways to apply for graduate school. We offer different types of tutoring tips. We look at how to navigate college. And we kind of take it throughout the year, whatever's happening in students' lives of what they think that they might need. And then we offer that programming for students. They get credit for coming, and the credit that they receive is beneficial to them because in the first and second year of bringing a TRIO student, you are offered the opportunity to actually apply for additional grant aid. So we try to offer the TRIO students a family from home, of somewhere they can come and get a little bit of a family-like feel. And I'm going to give Ashley here a few minutes to talk about how she has actually benefited from the TRIO program. Ashley, you might want to unmute your microphone there, hon.
Sorry. So as a senior, I have used TRIO since my freshman year. It actually started with me being a Yates Fellow, and like Amy said, the Yates program is like a bridge summer program for first-generation college students like myself. And I really appreciated the program because it allowed me to get acclimated to the campus before everyone else got here. So as someone who's shy and introverted, that was a big plus for me because I got to meet with professors. I got to like get a look at how the academic course load was going to be like, as well as just like make friends. So like you're making connections, which is really important when you're leaving home. As for like the TRIO program itself, it was really helpful to like be able to have a tutor when I needed it. Or even like go to my academic counselor, which is Amy, and just like talk to her about things that I'm struggling with in classes that sometimes you might be afraid to like go to your professor and talk to them, but you can always like talk to your TRIO counselor. So like that, just having like the support system to help you when like you're not knowledgeable or when your parents aren't knowledgeable really helps.
So the next part I would kind of like to share with you for the center is we actually, and I wanted to share that. That is our TRIO group that graduated last year. So we always like to show we had about a quarter of our TRIO students from Illinois College last year. So that was a very proud moment for us. The next thing I want to talk about just briefly, and I'm just going to touch on this for a minute, it won't pertain to everybody, but I think it's important to know under our umbrella of services in the Center for Academic Excellence, we do offer disability services. We are ADA compliant. So what that means is any student who's had a 504 or an IEP plan in high school deserves the same accommodations under the American Disability Act. I would like to state that we do not have 504s or IEP in college, but what we do is we have you meet with our disability services coordinator, and together the student and the coordinator sets forth what accommodations are available for the student. So traditional accommodations that students may have had in high school to help them be successful, they are able to get in college. And we work very closely with professors, and we work very closely with other staff on campus to make sure that our students get what they need. Part of the disability services is also an advocacy program. We help students learn to advocate for themselves, how to stand up for what they think they need, and we help foster those conversations across campus with students when they need to use our disability services. This is something we know can be a private matter, so we are very careful with this. We are also bound by FERPA in this area, so we only use this information as we are allowed to use it, and the student is absolutely involved in every part of the process. Finally, the last piece that I wanted to talk about that we do in the Student Support Services office here in the center is campus-wide services, and there are 3 large campus-wide services that we have. We currently have 8 academic coaches, and we offer academic coaching to all students on campus. Specifically, we have academic coaches for all first-year students. So any student coming to our campus as a first-year student will be given an academic coach, and then any student in TRIO will be given specifically a TRIO academic coach. Any other students who come to campus, whether it's through a transfer process, will be given an academic coach at their request. So we follow students through their 4 years and help them navigate college. Another service that we offer from the Center for Academic Excellence is peer tutoring. Tutoring is a free service through our office where we have peer tutors who have been very successful in their coursework, and they work alongside with other peers. It's a free sign up. We use a system called TutorTrack, and the tutor and the tutee can work on any content area that is needed. We have everything for most first-year classes, but we can also do them for others as well. And then it's a system where students can actually set up when it works in their time frame. And then finally, we have supplemental instruction through our office. That is something where I pay students who did very well in a course to take that class again. And at that time, they can hold outside sessions, and they work with students on what might be troublesome spots that happened in class that either the faculty is not available to work with them, or they just want some extra support outside of the class. This is a college-wide support, and this is something that Ashley too has benefited from, and so this is something that she would like to speak to.
So the academic coaching really came in handy for me. So I mentioned earlier that like if you have an issue with a class and you're too afraid to go to the professor, you can go to your TRIO counselor. And it's not just for like issues with like the class itself. It could be like personal issues like self-discipline or like wanting tips on how to study or like better read your textbooks better. Like I went to Amy for everything. Like we made a schedule one semester for how I should be planning out my time to write my like research paper. It's just like the little details like that you wouldn't even think about. Like TRIO really helps out with that. And as for tutoring, I've had a few classes that I've struggled with, and I've had no problem finding a tutor like to get help on like the tests and the homework. So that really helped. I've never really had a supplemental instruction a session with anyone, but the peer tutoring and the academic coaching really came in handy for my GPA.
So that gives you a little bit of an overview of everything that we offer in the center. Once again, our umbrella is the TRIO Student Support Services. We offer disability services as well as working with students on academic coaching, tutoring, and supplemental instruction. And at this time, what I would like to do is, if you have any questions, I would like to answer any questions, and feel free to ask Ashley or myself, because we would be happy to help you.
I have a question for Ashley. This is Evan. As we wait for maybe a few other outside questions, but you know, we went through some extensive renovations last year in Lincoln Hall to the co-located a lot of different services for students, and it also seems to be quite a popular spot for just, you know, hanging out and connecting with one another. Just curious about your thoughts on how that space has really changed the way that you've used services, or the way you see maybe your classmates using some of the services of the center.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea to just kind of like have one big building for all of the resources. Because in the past, I've had problems trying to find certain offices because it was scattered across campus. So for me personally, I like that everything's just all localized in one building. It's easier to find people that you need. Um, I actually work in the coffee shop that's in Lincoln, so I see a lot of the traffic back and forth with like students getting coffee and like doing homework or getting coffee and meeting with their tutors. So like this space gets utilized a lot, and I think a lot of people benefit from it.
If I can speak to that for a minute, Evan, I think it's important to note for students that the academic coaches that are over here for campus-wide students, we work very closely with everyone that is in the hub that Evan's referring to. We call it the Lincoln Hub, and it's a co-location that really serves students and benefits them well. Right across the hall from my office is the Chesley Health Center, so I have on many occasions walked students right over to get some help in the health center. We work very closely with the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. We work with the Career Readiness and Experiential Learning. They are straight down the hall from us, and as well as the chaplain on campus. So we have really found that students are able to get what support they need right here. And if we can't help them, we just walk them down the hall or across the way and find the help that they need. I do see a question there, Evan, about TRIO.
Yeah. It says, how do you become a member of TRIO?
So on our website right now, on the Illinois College website, if you look under the academic section, under the Center for Academic Excellence, and click on that link, there is a TRIO link, a page for TRIO, and there's actually an online application there. We ask several questions, right? Because it is federally funded, we have to look at if you do meet one of the criteria that I discussed. You do not have to meet all of them, just one of them. And so what we do is we take your application and we run it by Student Financial Services, and we look at what you answer. The application literally will take you probably 5 minutes to fill out. It is not a long application. It is short and sweet. And then once we receive it and you qualify, you will receive an email from the TRIO program and let you know that you have been selected to be a member of the TRIO program.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit more about TRIO and that first semester? I believe there's a class that's involved, is that right? And maybe you touched on this earlier, but how does TRIO help with sort of that transition?
Sure, and I'm gonna answer Jada. Is that your name? Jada, hello Jada. I see you asked a good question there. Yeah, and I'll answer that for you too as well, hon. Jada, once you are in TRIO, you are always in TRIO, so you do not have to apply every year. We have students like Ashley started her first year and she has been with me for 4 years. We do have a class through TRIO. It is called IC 103, and it is a 1 credit hour class. We offer it in the fall of each year. It meets every Wednesday at 9, and we picked a time when it will not interfere with any other classes, so students are available at that time. And it's a class to help with acclimation to college, helps with syllabus mapping, how do different professors do different things, and it is a accredited course that TRIO students do not have to pay for, and so it is something that's provided by the TRIO program itself. 2 of our academic coaches run the IC 103 class. And so the good thing is they help with the programming, tell students what they can be involved in, keep you updated. And then from the class, you are given a TRIO coach that you will work with throughout your time in the TRIO program. We find for all that the first 4 weeks are critical in how well you're going to do at the college. And that is why we started our academic coaching for all students. As Ashley will tell you, we worked with very different things her first year than we did her second year, than we did her third year, than we did her 4th year, now that she's getting ready to graduate. And we have found that those relationships that we build with our students not only helps them in the moment, but helps us. I know Ashley so well that I can write letters of recommendation for Ashley. And Ashley knows that she can get a hold of me at any time and ask me questions and have me help her through her navigation through college. So I think two things I'd really like to push is the TRIO program itself, and then for all students, taking advantage of the academic coaching piece that we offer here, because that's very unique to us on this campus.
Yeah. Probably have time for one or two more questions if anybody still has them. Ashley, you're a senior. What's next for you? What are you preparing to do after graduation, and how are you getting supported for that?
So I actually just had a meeting with Amy this morning talking about this very thing. I have decided to take a gap year because as a psych major, grad school is typically the next step in your career. But I find that psychology is a very, very broad field that I haven't narrowed down exactly what it is I want to do. Okay. So I'm taking a gap year, which will ultimately result in me like doing internships, like more internships for my resume and some job shadowing just to kind of figure out exactly what it is I want to apply for a grad school program.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Last call on questions.
Okay, I have a question for Ashley. So for those who are in the TRIO, have you detected a difference of how much effort and how much work you have to put in towards you? And then for those who are not in the TRIO, so do you have to work? Do you have to work? They have to work twice as hard as you, or is it equal? What are the benefits that you've seen?
I wouldn't say that students that are not in TRIO have it easier, but I also wouldn't say that students in TRIO have it easier. I would say TRIO is just a tool for you to use to go further in your academic career. So some people might be able to pay for tutoring, but Amy said, if you're a first generation college student, that might be a little bit harder, which is nothing to be ashamed about. TRIO is there for you to use as a tool. So if you need tutoring, you can just go to get the tutoring. You'll find here on campus that most of everyone gets tutored in any classes because the classes are really challenging, and that's the point of them, is to challenge you. But I would say that there is no difference in the students that are in the TRIO versus students that are not in the TRIO. We're all here for the same degree.
Okay.
Hope that answered your question.
Fantastic question. Well, I would encourage everyone who's on the session to reach out to Amy, and I'm sure they'd be happy to put you in touch with Ashley as well. I'm going to ask, we've got a sort of concluding slide here with some contact information. So I want to thank Amy and Ashley for spending their time with us today. Again, this session was recorded, so we will place it on the visit page. Probably will be there by the end of the day today. And you can see Amy's contact information there if you have questions about TRIO or Yates or the Center for Academic Excellence or student support in many senses. Fantastic contact. So again, thank you everyone for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.